Hey, good evening, all. Manikantan here. Is my voice is audible?
Yeah, hi Mani. Yeah, there's Mohan. Your voice is pretty much audible.
Okay, perfect. Is it my screen is able to see now?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. Okay.
Nick, before we start the session, is the session is getting recorded or for later
The,
a recall purpose or how it?
this session is going to be recorded.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mani. You can proceed.
Okay, so thanks for everyone to joining for today's webinar. Let's get started for today's meeting. So today I'm going to discuss three major topics. One is the Agile methodology, and then the second topic is the project management and PMP certification, and third one is the DevOps. These three topics we'll try to cover for next 2 hours of time. As much as the information, whatever the information I can able to share, I'll provide that. So today we'll just start with an Agile methodology. That's a very important topic. As I told that last many months actually, the IT market is totally shifting to the next stage. Okay, so whoever is in the IT field, please rethink about your career life, rethink about your what's your plan, what are you trying to achieve on your next career goal, how you want to improve yourself. Those things you have to daily basis, you have to realize yourself on this is the right time for you to realize, and then the IT is totally shifting to the one phase to the next phase. Okay, so currently the IT phase is shifting on the automation side. The first direction is moving on the automation side, and second direction it is moving on the business data analytical side like a big data Hadoop side, and third direction it is moving on the DevOps. Okay, the DevOps is moving, and then the fourth one is the Agile methodology, and the fifth one is the evergreen project management, process management, all those things. Okay, so these directions it's majorly moving IT is on the next stage. So first thing we have pretty much covered on the big data, Hadoop, all those things last many webinars. If somebody is not aware about the big data chapter, you can just go and visit on the bigdatachapter.com, or in the YouTube channel, you can just visit the youtube.com and then just type the big data Chennai chapter. You will get the hundreds of videos are available on the we have recorded and shared the webinar videos on the big data Hadoop site, and we have the regular trainings on that. If anybody required, you can go ahead on the certification training. So now we are going to move on Agile methodology. We have the separate WhatsApp group for this Agile methodology, but many people they wanted this topic to be covered by me, so that I'm just taking the sessions for today. So let's move on to the session now. So anybody aware of what is Agile? Can somebody tell me what kind of technology you're working, so that we'll get started with that note? Can somebody describe about what kind of technology you're working, and what is your awareness about Agile?
Hi, this is Anvi here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just we are using Jira and Agile in our company. It's Sandria.
Okay.
Okay. We are doing a mobile and everything will be connected to the Agile Jira, and it will be automated environment. And tasks will be we are putting into the Jira.
Okay. Good. That's pretty much good. Okay. So anybody else does in awareness of about Agile methodology? You are very new to this Agile, and you want to understand about what is basic to the Agile.
As per my knowledge, Agile is the one which actually takes a faster phase by phase. Say, if there is a project, it will be split into multiple modules or parts, and each of the parts will be integrated. All the parts together will become a project. All these phases will be called as an Agile. Whenever it could be also called as stories when we have some kind of progress in that particular module. So it all integrated to Jira, everything, and the rest of the tools which have to integrate for our things. So this is what my information.
Okay. So it's maybe a partially little correct, and many things you have to still need to be understand. Maybe I'll explain end to end of today Agile methodology. What is a Scrum model, Sprint methodology? Everything I'll explain today. Okay. No beyond that. Okay. Anybody has any knowledge of this particular Agile methodology? What is the other model you people are working currently? So are you working somebody is on waterfall model? Are you working what kind of the software methodology currently you're working? So how your day-to-day life, your project is running? So can you somebody describe me other than the agile, what is the way you are operating your projects on your company? What is the way you're working?
This is Mitesh this side.
Yeah, Mitesh.
Yeah. So basically, in my organization, I was working on one of the projects where it was pretty much an ad hoc, and that is where there was all last minute changes, and there was lots last minute deliverables. So pretty much it was not even a waterfall, not even an agile. It was, I would not say it was a hybrid, but it was more like an ad hoc processes. And that is where we try to introduce the agile, but it was too late because even we were approaching the deliveries and all that, looking at the timelines of the project. So that is one experience I wanted to share. And the other experience in my past has been where I've worked on the waterfall model, where I was involved in a very documentations and everything, and pretty much all the phases were quite intact, and even the phases takes a lot of time in their deliverables, because we have to wait every output of the previous stage is an input of the next phase, as everyone might be knowing. So waterfall was the model I've worked on.
Okay.
And one of the project I've also worked on is where we are following a Scrum model pretty much. So that's every day we have a daily Scrums and everything.
Okay, perfect. So this is a good example on that. So let's move on to the first slide of on the today's discussion. Let me just okay. So let me just define the what is Agile methodology, and then how it has been working on the IT industry, and then what are the models, what are the principles behind on this, what is the 12 core rules to follow on the Agile methodology. Those things we'll talk about that. Before that, I'll explain what are the other models, software development models are available. These slides has been taken from the different sources, but it's a pretty good explanation was there. And other slides I have prepared. Many slides it is my own content. So I'll just explain you first of all what is the normal software development industry. They are really progressing on the other fashion of the project development activity. Initially, you have the customer will have the requirement that is scope document, and then the scope document will be a project chat will be get agreement, all the signature will be done, and then it will go to your business management. That business management team transform the on-site job to the offshore. If it is offshore, the business manager or a salesperson, they will collect the documents and then they'll collect the requirement. That will be transformed to the business intelligence, business analyst. They will make the scope documents and then the scope, what are the requirements, gathering all those things. So that's the first phase of the requirement. So that has been converting. Again, this documents will be moved back to the architect level, and then the technical architect and functional architect. There are two people. If the big projects are there, and then these two departments, they'll go into the what are the ways we have to design this architect. Whether you want to create a three-tier architecture or two-tier architecture, cloud model, or what are the tables need to be there, what are the structure need to be there. All the way they will permutation and combination. They will design this application. So if they want a mobile application or not, so all the combination they'll design the. There is a designing team will be there for that before coming into any picture. The design, after the design is over, then it will come to a development team. So this development team they'll have the table structure, they'll have the requirement clearly, so that they will start developing the project for almost 3 to 6 months of time. Once they have some cycle of time for development, build the process, then they'll do the deployment, then release, alpha release, beta release. So then they'll go for a testing team. So the testing team, they will do the testing of all the bugs, all the manual testing, automated testing way. They'll do the testing. Then again, it will go for a support. Once it is deployed, then the maintenance team will take over the support. So this is a typical flow of the waterfall model. That's why it's water when it is falling from the falls. How it is water is flowing from the top to down the way. That's why it is called waterfall development model. So the requirement it's come from the top to the falls, and then the water is flowing to the next stage. Then the water is moving to the next stage, and then it's moving to the next stage, and then it's moving to the end of the stage. So this is a traditional approach of when your software development activities in the last 20 years of the decade, maybe even the 30 to 40 years of the decades. The software development industry, they are following this particular waterfall model in the one of the fashion of the development activities. Okay, so this particular model, it's a traditional approach. Okay, this traditional approach of the software development. Sorry, clear on this? First of all, what is a waterfall model? Any questions on this waterfall model?
Yeah, we are okay there.
Okay.
We are okay.
So waterfall model, it's one phase to the another phase. If it is moving, the next phase, you cannot able to move back to the previous stages. Okay. For example, if you are in the design phase, okay, then it is very rarely to move back to the one phase to the another phase. Design phase is moving to the next phase, but again, it will not. It rarely aim to revisit to the again to the development phase. If it is in the development phase, it will not go back to the again the design phase, or it will not go back to the requirement phase. So again, it will come for a change request over there here. Okay. So these are the pretty much of waterfall models working. So if any change is required on the requirement, again, it will take a very long time for the development activities. And then testing, sometimes they will do the testing and then they will not do the testing, and then they'll keep deploy the product. So that was pretty much every change request is happening for every time. The waterfall model, the change is happening. It is taking too long time to develop the single changes. They given one requirement initially, and then the development is happened for 6 months of time. Later, they're giving changes. That changes is required for another 6 months of time, right? So once again, I'll just repeat it. Somebody go on mute. Sorry. Normally, I will not mute the people because they have to ask the question, right? That's why. Okay. So this pretty much of changes, whatever the changes is required from the customer side, it will take very long time for development activity to complete. So that's why this waterfall model is not suitable for the very aggressive clients or the very rapidly change requirements are happening over there on certain projects, or certain projects they want to implement due to the technology changes, due to the competitor. They want to complete the project within a shortest time of period. So those people, the requirement will keep changes. They don't have a clear requirement. For example, if the customer does not have a clear requirement, I want one particular product, but I don't know what is required. And then, but the other competitor is about to take my business, but I need a similar kind of product immediately in my business solution. Okay. So when they are having the requirement, the first level is very high level requirement. Then it need to be dig dive. So many changes requirement will come on that particular, because they don't have a clear scope document. They don't have a clearly what is the screen design, what is the architecture they're going to do. So that does not have any clarity. So they develop something and then again the change request coming again it need to be redeveloped, and then it will take a very long time. So that is one of the riskiest part and costliest model in the waterfall model. Okay, so that's why it is the very less efficient, and then it is less efficient than agile. So that's why we are moving to the agile methodology. Okay, agile methodology is one of the methodology of software development methodology. It's not for other platform. It is majorly for the software development platform for doing the business process on a project execution. Okay, there are certain 4 items you have to understand on this agile methodology, and there are core principles. These core principles, 12 core principles are there. That 12 core principles need to be understand. And second one is the 4 processes there. So I'll just manifesto. We'll call it as a manifesto of that. I'll just show that first. It is there in the slide. Let me check. Okay. Okay. Manifesto is here. So Agile Manifesto is one of the first level of understanding. If anybody pretty much want to understand about Agile methodology, this is the first line of code. Okay, this is the first line of principle. Agile Manifesto. Okay, Manifesto. So individual and interactions over process and tools. That's the first manifesto. For example, somebody will ask to what is define Agile, right? So if you want to define the Agile, you have to explain about this core manifesto and then the 12 core principle. That's very important. So Agile Manifesto is individual and interactions over process and tools. So here all the individual people will work as a, they are the authority person, they are the owner. So they are the owner of that. And then over the process and tools, they will interact more. So they'll interact with the process. For example, they so many tools they have specified, right? So that tools that's been interactive tools are available. Second one is the working software or comprehensive documentation. So working software or comprehensive documentation. So this particular any documentation, there is no required of complexity documents. It should be a working software or a comprehensive documentation. So they need a software. They don't want a high-end documentation activities. Customer collaboration is very, very important. Customer collaborations over contract negotiation. Okay. And third thing, and responding the changes over following a plan. So any changes is required. Even the last minute of changes, you have to ready to accept these the changes because of the customer is asking. So that need to be asked from the customer. Okay, I'm just going to show some of the stuffs to you. Okay, so if somebody want to kickstart their agile learnings, okay, so this is your first website you have to visit, agilemanifesto.org. Okay, so here they might be they given whoever is this organization, they are maintaining this agile platform who created this particular this particular team. They created and maintaining these core principles of agile methodology. For example, if you want to teach or you want to understand about in Tamil language, you can easily understand. Okay, so this is the agile methodologies. It is a very fastest way of fastest way of doing the project activity. Okay, it's called this. They have explained in Tamil. Okay, here they're given a clear explanation. What are the things they have to follow when they are following the agile methodology? So whatever they are preparing the software development, they will be always follow the certain principles, certain software tools over there. That's the first principle. And then whatever they are trying to do on that particular activity, they'll follow certain rules. Okay, they will follow certain rules, and then the interaction between the individual people and the customer, the tools, everything they'll keep make progressive way they'll do, and then they'll do the. I could not able to read Tamil properly. That's why I'm just struggling out here. Word by word. I'm just reading. So here they'll focus on the customer is the first person. They will be they'll be God for that particular person. They'll whatever changes is required, they'll follow that. Okay, even the last moment they'll follow the changes. That's where they'll adapt. Okay, let's go back to this mother language. That's pretty much easy. Okay, so here the individual and interactions over the process and tools, working software over the comprehensive documentation, customer collaborations over the contract negotiation, and responding the changes on the following a plan. So these four manifesto is the main important in the agile. Okay, are you clear on this? First of all, this four manifesto. These are principles of agiles. Anybody has any questions? I'll just unmute that. Okay, anybody has any question on this particular four manifesto?
I have a question. See, when we are progressing on a customer requirements, when we are almost completing the customer requirement, in that point of time, if our customer asked for a change, so will it again go for extensive documenting and contract negotiations and responding to the changes, right?
Yeah. So
So
here,
in that case, it takes longer time, right, to complete.
yeah, sorry, please go ahead. Yeah.
So in that time, in that case, the project completion will take a longer place, even though the customer has asked for a loss just before project completion change. It will take a longer duration to get completed, right?
Correct. Correct.
So is it like Agile methodology will take a longer duration, or waterfall method will take a longer duration?
A waterfall method will take a longer duration. Agile methodology will not follow the waterfall model. It is just opposite to the waterfall model. It will never follow the, it will not wait for the requirement. For example, it will no need to wait for a completion of the face-to-face kind of thing. Okay. All the phases of timeline, for example, if somebody is business analyst taking the requirement and then it's going for the analyze design phase, analyze phase, then it's coming for development phase, then testing phase, and then it is taking for six months. If each department they're taking for development, 3 months time taking for testing, and 1 month time for taking the deployment, then the 1 month for maintenance. This is a waterfall model, this model. But in Agile methodology, it is only 2 weeks of the model or 4 weeks of the model. Any software development, whatever you are just following, this take the 2 weeks of requirement and process it and develop the 2 weeks of requirement and then deploy it. Then show me a demo of only one screen. Even if you develop one screen of activity, you show me the demo. Then you just follow the next changes and then take that next requirement and develop the 2 weeks of the process, analyze it, develop this and then test that and then deploy that and then show me a demo of second screen. Similar way, portion of portion things it will be do in every 2 weeks sprint model or 4 week sprint model. If any changes overcomes, the longer period will not take. Maximum time will take for the 2 weeks to 4 weeks of time for a particular any kind of changes.
Okay, thanks, Mani. So, which means that this agile model will take a 2 weeks to 3 weeks of requirements
It
for
will not
the
come as a
project.
3 weeks. There is no model of 3 weeks. Either 2 weeks model or a 4 weeks model or a 2 months, 8 weeks of model. Maximum it is 2 weeks to 4 weeks. 2 weeks or 4 weeks.
Okay, so the every requirements are with respect to either 2 weeks or 4 weeks they will take, and it will while completion they will show to the customer. If any changes are required, again they will rechange the requirements, right?
Right. Yes, right.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So next we are moving to the after the 4 manifesto is done. So I'm just teaching you the basic level to the towards on intermediate level. So I'll cover that. Okay, but expert level it will be a training model required for because more exercise need to be done. Second things we are going to see there are 12 core principles are available on Agile. Okay, so these are the 12 core principles. Okay, here if you see over there in the screen, I just expand this. So Agile software methodology, which is having 12 core principles. First thing we studied about the 4 manifesto. That is the way the Agile methodology principle is working. And then there are 12 core principles based on the 4 manifesto. It is working. Okay. First thing, customer satisfaction by early and continuous deliverable of valuable software is your core value for following the Agile methodology. So customer for satisfaction is very, very important when you're performing and delivering any activity that need to provide the deliverable of valuable software to the on early and continuous delivery of the valuable software is the first core principle. Second core principle, welcome the change requirement even in the late development. If any change request comes on the last day of your sprint, also you have to ensure that happily invite the customer to adapt to the changes. Third core principle is working software is delivered frequently. So can you please mute everyone? So can you please go on mute? Because if I muted, people are unable to answer questions. That's why I'm not muting. Who is joined? Just
Mani, I have.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, no problem.
Mani, in between telling the words like sprint and scrum, can you brief about the sprint and scrum
Sure.
just for 1 minute,
I'll
please?
do it. I'll do it. So I have one slide for that. Maybe I'll just take it over there.
Yeah, let the trainer go methodology.
Okay, so this is a very important concept. So he's asked a very important question. Okay, let me just take over.
Why I asked was the points, these keywords were keep on repeating. So without knowing that, I am unable to proceed. So that's sorry.
No problem. So I'll just show this diagram. Okay. So this diagram will pretty much explain you the sprint, agile methodology, all those things. For example, the first phase will come as the analyze, plan, design, development, and testing. And if you are doing on the same way in the waterfall model, it will go by the design phase, development phase, testing phase, deployment phase, right? When it comes to the agile methodology, every 2 weeks model or 4 weeks model, the sprint will work. Sprint means one cycle. Okay, sprint is one of the circle. This circle, what it will do, in the same 2 weeks of time, you will do the design, development, testing, and then deployment and demo. All these things will do it in a one particular sprint. That's called one sprint. It will go 4 weeks of time. One sprint is equal to 4 weeks of work. Each week, the people need to get assigned 40 hours of the activity. Okay, so this 40 hours of the activity, each people, the scrum team or the project team, it will not be a bigger size of team. It will be normally 6 member of team. That is the ideal team of agile methodology. Or if somebody's maximum of 8 member team is the suggested model. 6 to 8 members is the maximum of your agile model of team size. Okay, each and every individual on the team is it will not act as he is a software engineer, he is a tester, he is a senior software engineer, he is a team leader, he is a project leader, he is a project manager, he is a delivery manager, he is a customer. He will not act as he's a software engineer kind of person over there on the sprint model or agile model. Agile model, there is no team at all. Agile model, there is no project manager at all. There is no manager at all in the agile model. All the people are owners of the project. They are owning the project for development, for delivering to the customer requirement. So each and everyone will be a more valuable people in the agile model. So there is no project manager or PMP certified person is required for agile model. So there is no required of project leader. There is no requirement of test manager, test lead. There is no required of any person as a manager person or any kind of team structure is not even required for an agile fashion. One particular sprint, if 6 member of team is there or 8 member of team is there, they will do 3 developers will be there, 2 testers will be there, 1 scrum master will be there, 1 team leader will be there, 1 architect will be there, 1 customer will be there. All the people are part of your scrum team. All the people are, customer also is scrum team. Architect is a scrum team, developer is a scrum team, tester is one scrum team. Here, nobody is going to allocate a task to you. Okay, you do this job, you do this job, and then they'll not monitor. That's not exactly agile, but some of the companies they are trying to adapt that, allocating a task, and then they're asking for the status, and then what is happening over there. Some of the things, but that's not a way of the agile model at all. Agile should not ask you to allocate any jobs to any person, and then the agile fashion will not work on any manager. Under this manager I am working, there is no manager concept in the agile. One particular sprint is the 4 week of sprint. If I'm a associate on the particular project, I'll own my task. I know what I need to do in agile. I know what I need to do. I'm doing my activity. 40 hours is there. I'll do that. I'll complete the task. I'll update in that. Based on that, there is a product backlog items, PBI. Okay, this PBI I'll explain little detail on the few further other slide. So first understand, if you are running waterfall model, a project in 3 months of time, 6 months of time, you are doing the same activity only. all the development you are doing, and then 2 months of testing you are doing, and then deploying is there. There is a project manager will be there, testing team will be there, software team is there. They will do the same job. Here they will do the splitting of the only portion of the jobs on every 2 weeks model or every 4 weeks model. Each sprint is the 4 weeks model, and then they are executing for 3 to 6 months or 8 months of time. Up to it will go for, if it is larger project, it will go for a 12 sprint of time. So that is the way the sprint model is working. But the sprint change requirement, if there is no clear on scope, then this agile methodology will be very useful for the customer as well as the benefit of the other people. Are you understanding what is a sprint now? Sprint is the
Yeah, thanks a lot.
okay. Sprint is the 4 weeks of model. So similar way, what we are trying to achieve on the waterfall model, if you are doing for 4 months of the project, we are splitting here as a 4 different weeks: sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4. Each sprint is the 4 weeks. So this particular project is taking 4 months of the delivery time. Each sprint we will develop the product, we'll do the design the project, we'll do the testing phase, we'll deploy the project, we'll show the demo. After showing the demo, customer will give the next set of requirement. Then they will accept that, agree the product. Okay, I can able to take this requirement for now, this for this 4 weeks of time. They'll agree that, customer also will agree. Okay, go ahead with their sprint 2 development. Then they will start developing the sprint 2 model. So once set of sprint 2 is over, then they'll take the next set of requirement. So similar way, the 4 sprint is they will develop the changes. They'll develop all the activities. So now we'll move back to the 12 core principle. First thing is we have to value the customer. Customer is more important. Satisfaction is more important. And any delivery should be valuable software. When you're delivering any customer to any software, it should be valuable customer. Valuable software need to be delivered. Always welcome the changes, even it is a late development. Even the last moment of the development, you have to welcome the changes. And working software is the delivery frequency, the weeking rather than the month. So it should not be month basis, it should be every week or a 2 weeks model or a 4 weeks model. Not weekly basis they will not deliver, but normally 2 weeks model they will follow the certain agile principles. Some people they will follow the 4 weeks model of agile methodology. Okay, so 2 weeks and 4 weeks is the right model for delivering the software. Close daily cooperations between the business people and developer. Okay, so daily cooperation between business people, and because all the people are in the same team, business people also in the same team, development team also in the same team, all these people are, so you should have a daily cooperation on this particular between the business and then people and then developers. And fourth core principle is projects built on around motivated individuals who should be trusted. For example, there is no team structure, right? So here the customer need to believe in their team, the company need to believe in the team, the who is authority of that particular people of individual, they have to be motivated and they have to be trusted. They will complete the project on time. They will do they know what they have to do. Okay, so it should not be a person need to be say, okay, you take this particular activity and then you complete this activity. Why you are not able to complete this activity? Why you are taking the off on particular day? Why it's not a people management activities? It's not like a delivery management activity. It's not like a project management activity. Here, each people should know, even if 2 years experienced people or 1 year experienced people or 5 years experienced people in the Scrum team, they should know what they have to build. We have to be trust on the people. And then the sixth core principle is face-to-face conversation is the best of form of the communication. It's called co-location. The Scrum team always need to be sit next to you. It's not like a offshore and onshore model where somebody is working on one guy in the Pune, one guy in Hyderabad, one guy in Bangalore, one guy in Chennai, and teams are working on across the global location, and then we don't know what team is working which timeline kind of way. Always the Scrum team should be a co-located, maximum of co-located, face-to-face conversation between a form of communication. Normally Scrum team will be sit together in a table of like a conference kind of room, and then they will be do their business activity on a daily basis with a collaborative way of exchanging the information. And then, for example, a person who is developing software development activity of first screen will just casually ask to the next person, okay, what are the changes you are doing on the particular screen? So he'll just chit chat with their next person, and then they'll do all the communication in the face-to-face conversation way and co-located way. They'll complete the activity. That's a that model need to be on that way. So if the person should not be seated, one person is sitting, the desk is available on this floor, first floor, and then two desks is on the second floor. The person should not be splitted. The person should be sit on the next person, and should be face-to-face conversation need to be there on this particular agile model. And seventh core principle is working software is the principal measure of progress. So it should be whatever you are delivering should be working software. It should be workable software. Okay. And then eighth question is sustainable development, able to maintain the constant place. Should you have a sustainable development? Always I have maintain a sustainable development. And ninth core principle is continuous attention to the technical exchange and good design. So always you have to focus on continuous attention to the technical excellence. For example, if any changes is required on the technical aspect, so that you have to have keep on watch over there. And simplicity is the art of maximize the amount of work not done is essential. So simplicity. So you have to be extract the work, maximum amount of work which is not done. This need to be identified, and then you have to be work on that. Okay. So it need to be maximizing the amount of work means you have to be simplicity. Okay, this is you have to be very clear. Okay, this is what I can able to deliver. You should not be overcommitted. You should not be unrealistic way. You should not agree for anything, right? So it should be follow a simplicity principle where you can able to what you can able to achievable that you can be able to commit. So 11th principle is best architectures, requirement and design emerge from the self-organization team. So the self-organization team, like a Google company, some people are working, they have self-organized team. So many companies in the global MNC, they have adapting this kind of culture, organization culture to the agile model. They know what they need to do. So such a way they will do the this 4-5 team. They'll do sometimes they'll be in library, sometimes they'll be in the coffee shop, sometimes they will be in a laptop way, but they know what they need to do, and then they will do the every moment they will do the always thinking of that particular product, and then it's called self-organized team. So these designs are emerging from the self-organized team. And the last point is regularly the team reflect on how to become the more effective and adjust accordingly. So this here is very important, productivity improvement. So project productivity improvement is very, very important. That's a 12th core. Regularly team reflect how to become a more effective and adjust accordingly for the project delivery. So these are the some of the 12 core principles of the agile development principle. Okay. So I got some questions over there. Let's go by the questions, and we can ask your questions now.
Actually, I have an issue.
Yeah, go ahead, Anbu. Can you type over the questions over on the chat window so that we'll take it that? Okay, it's my internet connection is a problem, I believe.
Sorry, maybe my connection got disconnected.
No, my connection is got disconnected. Don't worry on that.
Okay.
Okay, you can ask the question now. Yeah.
It's like we are following agility, but the practicability is a lot of the factors affecting us. For example, if 2 weeks is a gap for us, but the 2 weeks there's a lot of miscommunication thing is happening in the agility. Even the developer have 6-member team, we are communicating to the one client member. What is the task we are doing up every day? We are being following up in the through the Jira. Even though the priority, the factor will be affecting our development. How we can ignore it? Any mechanism we have or any
Yes.
affectability we have, can make it?
Yes, there is a model is there. I'll tell you about that. So there is a radar model we have to see. I'll show the slide of that. Okay, so that is a maturity level of Agile. There is a model is there. So we have to identify what kind of the maturity level the organization is grown on the Agile adaptation. Okay, so if the team need to be trained first of all. What is the real Agile methodology? That will fix you this kind of problems. They have to be undergo a training. As should be there is a Scrum coach need to be available on your company or your team. The Scrum coach need to be guided through guided mechanisms. They have to be watch across all the activities, what is performed with the Agile methodology team, and then he need to be provide the accordingly the training need to be happen. So then the radar and there is a maturity model need to be assessed over there. Then it can be improved on this particular kind of issues. So there is a process is there for Agile methodology. Under that there are Agile coach. They will define the process accordingly. They'll customize. They will do the certain process management activity they'll perform, and then they will correct the people and coach. It's not like a training over there. Rather than that's why it is called coach. There is two different things. There is a coaching model is there. There's a training model is there. Training is different, and then coaching is different. So in the Scrum methodology, we have a Scrum coach. There is a designation is available like a Scrum master. There is a Scrum team. Similar way, there is a Scrum coach is available. That coach need to be coached the complete Agile methodology principles to the team, and that they have to be coached very well. Those kind of issues will be resolved in this down the line.
Okay, fine. So let me see how it is be things that is happening. Thanks for that. Let's see.
Mani, I have two questions. One is, at what point of time that Agile methodology will start? Is it like after gathering the requirements from the customer, it will start, or from the initial stage of gathering requirements itself, the Scrum team is getting formed?
Both the model we can able to initiate this Agile model. Even after the requirements comes, we can do, and then the pre-requirement stage also this Agile model can able to implement.
Okay. My second question is, see, if we don't gather the complete requirements, we'll not be able to divide the sprints. And second point is, if we don't divide the sprints, if we have a heavy workload in the later sprints, how to integrate the first sprint with the second sprint, or the later sprint is dependent on the first sprint. So how can we identify those bottlenecks?
That was excellent.
And,
yeah, okay, good.
And the third point is how to see if I have a sprint, the actual project that requires heavy developing. So for my development team is actually offshore. So I have to include those team, or should I have a representative, one developer, or either the senior most developer guy into the Scrum team, and we have to navigate the Scrum team to the development team. So how it is?
Okay, so that's second question and third question is a very excellent question. I'll just answer that. The first question. If you have a requirement, okay, it is keep on expanding. Okay, I committed one sprint, and then second sprint I am doing. When customer is coming back with the unrealistic way, I need to complete hundreds of thousands of hours of work, 10,000s of hours of work I need to complete to deliver this project. How will I able to accommodate within this particular sprint? I have only 4 weeks of model. I have only 6 member of team. I just calculate myself. Okay, they calculate one person can able to work on only 40 hours. Okay, if 6 people are in there, so the people can able to work only 240 hours of the work only, including 6 member of team, all the member of team. If they come for office all the day, they can able to adapt for 240 hours of work. So this 240 hours only we have to commit. I can able to take, the Scrum Master will define the, I can able to take only 240 hours of the work for this particular sprint. Okay, For example, this is a 4-week 40 hours into one person can able to 6 hours to 6 into this is 1 week into 4 weeks of particular. So one person, one particular sprint team, they can able to work for 960 hours of the workload. Only it is possible to work. Sometimes they will extract or expand to the some 100 hours activities can be expanded. Okay, but it cannot be go for the 10,000 hours or 5,000 hours, or the project work cannot be accommodated. So that's why there is a model is there in the agile model. We have a sprint planning model, then we have a sprint commitment. So there is a commitment will be there, the backlog items, which are the things I can able to commit. So even though if the customer is having 100 requirement, I can able to commit only 7 to 8 requirement only for a particular sprint. They cannot able to commit more than 7 items or 10 items out of 10 PBI items. They cannot able to commit more than 7 items. Okay, that's the ideal model of logically it will work for 7 items of PBIs only. They can able to agree for that storylines. That story means that's the scope of documents. Only 7 modules of that much level of workload only they can able to commit. The customer is having hundreds of workload, hundreds of modules of workload if they are having, that can be subsequently it will plan, but that will not be taken care, that will not be considered for your sprint, or that will not be considered for your next sprint also. The next sprint they will discuss, the product owner and then the commitment, who is going to commitment, the scrum team will decide that I completed your first 7 activity of your work. Okay, are you happy on my demo? Are you committed? Whatever I committed, are you getting that result? They will ask the question to the customer. Then the customer need to agree to the people, okay, I have committed this 7 PBI, accordingly you have delivered me 7 PBI. If the 7 PBI out of 7 PBI or 10 PBI, they are unable to commit for, they are unable to deliver the software team unable to deliver, they can able to commit only 6 PBI or 5 PBI only they have delivered, then there is a disconnect between the what is agreed and then what is delivered. That will be transformed to the next sprint. That workload will be transformed to the next stage, and Scrum Master need to be work it out how to mitigate this, and then based on that they have to agree for the next sprint. Okay, this time I have previously 2 sprint I have unable to deliver that work also there, and next month I have to commit for only 5 PB work. So then only I can able to commit for 960 hours of the work I can able to perform with my 6 member of team. Here Scrum Master will act as the project manager of activity normally in the IT company, how the people are working. But Scrum Master is different role, project manager is a different role. Scrum Master should be a motivator for the entire team. They'll not do the kind of activities of, okay, keep on, they will not do the monitoring activity. They will not do the micromanagement activity. So Scrum Master is one of the key motivator for the team, and then they will ensure that the projects are going the right direction. They will do the estimations part. And here the Scrum model, all the people will do the estimation. The Scrum Master should not do the estimation, and then each and every individual people, they have to do the estimation. So there is a card technique is there. So this card, using the card technique, they will do the estimations. I'll teach you about that also. So based on that commitment, if the customer is having hundreds of requirements also, there is a sprint planning meeting. They will agree for, I can able to commit, the project team will agree for, I can able to commit only this much of workload. Based on that, the customer point of contact of product owner, they will also will agree, then only this agile can be possible. Clear on this? What's your third question?
Yeah, perfect. Third question was I'll forget it.
No problem. Just think about that and then I'll answer for that also. Okay, fine. So we'll quickly move to the next slide, what we have, so that we have to cover the other.
What terminology PBI means?
Yeah, product backlog item.
Okay, thanks.
I had to pause the screen for a minute. Just give me a minute. Okay. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So this one is the someone trying to adapt their agile model in their company, or they're trying to convert themselves as the agile company or agile methodology company. From the waterfall, they are adapting some project to the agile. So before that, they have to be understand what is the maturity level they are. Okay, in terms of agile, some people they are already, they might be doing their project activities, right? So they have to be reviewed. The Scrum coach, they will teach you. They will teach the people, or they will analyze. They will assess the how much of the process evaluation is done for your agile team. There are so many hundreds of processes there that they will evaluate. For example, establishing team is one of the first core concept and the maturity. Have you done the establishing the right team of the people? So establishing the goals and vision, establishing the product backlog, understanding the stakeholders. Who are the people? Stakeholders means everyone in the project is called stakeholder. Who are the people? What are the people's? What is the roles and responsibility? What they can able to do? All these things. Setting up the project environment. So agreeing the DOR. So DOR is a definition of ready. These are the agile keywords. So these keywords need to be thoroughly need to understand. Agreement, DOR, definition of ready. DOD, definition of done. So DOD is project completion. These are the tasks I have done. Definition of done. So if the customer is having, okay, I given for 7 PBIs, you're done for 6 PBI, then the definition of done is for 6 PBI, not the 7. Definition of ready is how many product backlogs are ready for this particular sprint. That's what definition of ready. So then they create the risk and mitigation, define the engineering standard, then plan iteration product backlog item, test product backlog item, conduct a daily stand-up meeting, what is the measurement. So these are the ways you have to start creating the, what are the levels or on which stage you are currently on the particular stage. There is a maturity model, the Scrum coach able to do the assessment based on the, there are so many people are there in the agile methodology. They will do the auditing activities. Based on the auditing activity and evidence, they will score the each and every level where you are currently on the maturity level. Based on that, the Scrum coach will provide the coaching activities for your entire Scrum team. So this is one of the way of adapting the agile model. So anybody interested, they can try this model for your adapting agile model in your organization. This is where the global organization, they will do this on finding the maturity level of current level, and then what is the way they have to improve. Clear on this? Any question?
Mani, it is a agile or radar, or both are same?
Agile is different model. Radar, here it's a radar. So for example, it's a representation of the graph. For example, line graph, bar graph, chart item will be there, right? Similar way, the data are represented in the radar model. Okay, this radar model, the outside layer, certain points they have in the advanced layer. Okay, it's advanced layer. The in between there is a blue color box is there, right? So this blue color box, still there is a gap. So this, if the radar is if it is coming, this blue color box is coming till the end of the green color, then the maturity is high. Okay, here the yellow color bar and then blue color bar, there are different points moving. So that means the maturity level still need to be grown. Still there is coaching is required.
Okay, so the blue color is crossing the green, the maturity levels need to be increased.
Yes, it is increasing. If it is reduced by a small blue color, then there is no maturity at all. Okay.
The more blue, the more.
In each category, for example, here test product increment, there is a maturity is very, very less. Create initial architecture, okay. This maturity is very less. So these things need to be improved. So some people they have the iteration retrospective and all. It is the highest way they have. They have a customer interaction, contract reviews are higher. Those kind of things are matured level. So agreeing definition of ready. Some people they'll overcommit, right? Sometimes they'll overcommit. That time the maturity will be reduced. So they are not following the right process. They don't know what is Agile really. So they'll overcome it. Okay, customers need to be satisfied. They'll overcome it and then they'll do it. Sometimes we have to say no to the customer. Okay, I cannot do it. I can able to possible is only 40 hours. If you are telling me to do for 80 hours of work, it is not even possible. You have to teach the customer. You have to teach the customer it is not possible. You have to ensure that customer is understanding that.
Okay. So the one which we are seeing in the current screen is it's a radar model, am I right?
It's a radar representation to identify what level of maturity. So somebody is
Okay,
trying to
fine.
adapt. Somebody is trying to. This is an audit report. Okay, is one of the audit report to where the current Agile team has maturity level. To identify, there are several components will be identified. Based on that, they will be audited. Based on some evidence, they will check, and the Scrum coach will attend their several meetings on currently how you are interacting with your customer, how the project team is interacting with each other, what are the evidence documentation activity they are doing, what are the tools and technique they are using, how it is moving to test to production. Then all the components they will assess, they will do the evaluation. Based on that, they will have a scoring model. Then the scoring model, they will do the maturity assessment. That maturity assessment, they will put some kind of graphical model. That graphical model is one of the models called radar model. Radar is different, Agile is different. So radar is one of the way of representation of the graph, like a line graph, bar graph. You can go to the Excel sheet, you can have the radar graph over there. For example, if I'm just putting the 1, 2, 3, 4, some numbers I'm just typing, okay. So just please look here.
Mani, it's just correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Radar is the representation of people in the Agile team. Like, what is their strength, behavior, and it's a combination. How we can represent in the radar combination, right?
Radar graph. It's a graph. It's a graph of representation where the maturity is there or not. So, for example, here, what is the line graph says? Here, there are 3 columns. The third column is highest one. It's one way of representation of the data in a visual way, right? So similar way, you can able to identify, you can just change the graph type into this here. There is a radar model will be there. There is a radar. Yeah, here. So the radar model is there, right? So here, the same combination of model, if you just specify, what are the ways they're representing the data in which, what's the difference between one variable to the another variable. So here there is some representation happening, right? One column to the another column, yes, representation. This is one of the radar mechanisms so that we can able to identify the gaps.
So this will be generated by the Scrum Master about the team.
Not Scrum Master, not by the Scrum Master. It will be identified by the team Scrum Coach. It will be done by the Scrum Coach.
Do you have any hierarchy for this Scrum Coach and what is Scrum Master?
Yeah,
do you have any hierarchy?
I'm going to show in my slides. Yes, I'm going to show in my slide. Okay.
Please.
So first thing we have to understand about the waterfall model, all these things. Then we are moving to the Agile model, right? So we have seen the 12 core principles. We have seen the 4 manifesto. That's the first level of the intro of the particular Agile. Okay, this is the first 4 manifesto, and then we have seen the 12 core principle. So the Agile model, like a project management side, we have a several Prince2 model, we have a PMP model, project management maturity model, and then company as itself, they have their own process of project management. Similar way, the Agile is having, it has its own methodologies. It has its own multiple methods or multiple models are available in the Agile. Normally, Scrum model, Kanban models are widely used across the industry, and there are other model called RUP root model, XP extreme programming, and in Scrum model, Kanban model, and there are several other models are available in the Agile umbrella. FTD, STM, all these things, crystal model. There are so many different models are available. Those are different processes are available. But it is ideal to understand about the Scrum model and then Kanban model, it is more than enough to become a Scrum methodology people. Okay? Follow the Scrum model and Kanban model. Kanban model, somebody's their not even maturity level is not that much. Agile is not fixing. The customer is so rapidly, they are not even listening my word. They're not even understanding what is computer. They're not even understanding what is process. They want the product. Such a kind of customer, you cannot follow the Scrum model. You cannot able to make him to listen. Then the Agile model is giving the other kind of solution, the Kanban model. Okay, the Kanban model, it will provide the stage by stage, multiple stages. How many requirement is coming? What are the requirement? What are the stage? It's like a dashboard where it will be. I'll show the Kanban model. So it will be very rapid changes also can be adapted to the Kanban model. It does not require to follow the Scrum model. The Kanban model is a different way of running. It will not follow a sprint model, but it will follow a different Kanban metrics model. Clear on this?
Maybe there's a one question, like everything depends upon the cost. So how do you the costing factor will be affect for this Scrum and Common? How we can choose it? For example, if the banking project, which would be a good for us. If it is like normal website, how we can choose it?
Okay. So
how who will be decide for that?
Okay, this will be decided by the Scrum coach, or sometimes customer will decide, or sometimes organization central of excellent team will decide which is your right adaptation for your particular team. Okay, because this cannot be decided by the Scrum team, or this cannot be decided by the other people. Okay, this can be somebody maturity of project process maturity people or project management maturity people. They can define that, okay, this particular team can able to adapt this particular process based on several constraints, based on the customer, based on the team size, based on the contract model, based on the several other various factors need to be decided to choose that which model I can able to do this project, either Scrum model or Kanban model or FTD model or AAP model or ASP model, but more widely used project is the Scrum model, Kanban model.
Okay.
Okay. Scrum is one of the.
Because we are following.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Thing is, like we are using Scrum things, but we have a lot of realistic practical probability. We are facing a few issues. Like we have on around a 7-member team, so practicability is affecting us. So that's the reason I'm like to engage what I can do and what I have to modify from that.
What kind of the practical stuff you're facing?
See, like if it is a 6-member, 7-member team, like skill how we can be able to choose this. For example, if it is a banking project, we cannot be able to manage with a 6-member team. Maybe the team size will be vary. So who will be able to lead, or how we can be able to who the Scrum master? Maybe like some experienced people may not be the new technology. The Scrum master may not be also adopted.
Yeah,
because he cannot able to define, like I can able to work only for a security analysis for 5 hours. He can define it, but he cannot able to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it may vary.
Correct. I understand. So the problem is, if the project management team they're doing, the project manager will keep on have the high on the micromanagement activities kind of things. They can able to do that. But in Scrum team, the Scrum master they can do certain levels of team monitoring. They can do the certain level of PB, how PBs are going. But this can be corrected through on a daily Scrum call. Okay, so where the progress is happening, what are the progresses moving or not moving, that need to be discussed on the daily Scrum call. So the daily Scrum call, the Scrum master need to be run this daily Scrum call, and then they have to the people need to be trusted. So they have to be honorably they have to tell that what is happening on the ground level. So based on that, the Scrum master will apply some mitigation plan. So and then also she will inform to the customer clearly. They can replan it. Based on that, this work can be completed. So here, one developer is unable to complete an activity. If other developer is completed his activity, he'll be ideal, right? So in the Scrum team, it will be they will be take over their work also. They will ensure that the product is delivered on time on that particular sprint is over. So that helping tendency is more on this particular Scrum model of team. It's like they are owning the product, right? So they don't make that as a failure model. So for your case, you have to make your team to be more understanding about the agile process. What is the realistic agile process? And then you have to be coached through certain training model or maybe coaching model. You have to do that. Based on that, certain kind of maturity level will be improved, and then should be a kind of video conferencing mode, and then should be audio conferencing mode. The communication channel will be improved, and then based on the daily Scrum meeting, and then there are several other process sprint planning meetings. Those things you have to be make sure that is properly handled. Then this kind of problems can be reduced.
Maybe, yeah, maybe like it's the communication is, we are doing majorly things that with the few things will be adaptability. That's the thing it is. Thanks for that. We'll work on what it is, what the I can make it.
Okay, so based on the other topic what we discussed, that is also you can able to understand. Okay, so a few things you need to understand about the Scrum model. Okay, that's very important on the Agile. So first thing we are going to understand about Agile process tools. Okay, so first of all, split your organization. Here there are the team. Here we have 3-member team. There is a 3 different role which has been splitted. Okay, one is the product owner in this Agile team, one is the project owner, and second one is the Scrum master, and third one is the Scrum team. These 3 people only the roles are available in the Agile as per the definition. Okay, it can be applied to the small organization, cross-functional, self-organized team, any kind of things. Okay, the product owner, they are the ultimate owner like a customer, or they are owning the product requirement. They will transfer the knowledge to the what is the requirement to the Scrum team. Scrum master, they will be helping motivate the team. They will help to ensure that product delivery is happening the right way. So you will split your work into very small level and concrete deliverables. Okay, if you have the big size of the project has been split into very small decomposed activities, decomposed way, and then it is going on the relative efforts on each item. So this each item is called product backlog items. Here the requirements are coming in as a story point. Like a customer is having scope document, right? I want to develop one banking application. This banking application is having the customer need to be fill the form. That after the filling form, this has 5 different field. That 5 different field need to be processed on this business logic. This is the story. Okay, this is the business requirement. This story here is called business requirement. This business requirement need to be taken over, and then that need to be realistically understand by the sprint planning meeting. There is a planning meeting will be happening on every starting of the sprint. There all the requirement need to be discussed one-on-one basis with the customer, and then the product owner, Scrum team, Scrum master, all the people will be gathered. Architect will be there. On site there are 1 or 2 people will be there on the Scrum team. They will also participate. Offshore will be major team will be there. They will participate on the video conferencing mode. All the people will sit together in one single place, and then they will discuss the requirement phase. So next, you have starting your project work on the January month. Okay, so you have a fixed length of iteration or sprint. Iteration is the circulate next phase. Okay, sprint usually 2 to 4 weeks of time with a potential shippable code of demonstrated for each other iteration. January you have nothing to showcase, but you have completed one particular sprint. You are just gathering all the requirement. First sprint starting on your, that's called sprint 0 model, and then starting from the sprint 1 model, you have 4 weeks of PBR, 2 weeks of PBI you're delivering on the particular PBI. So gradually you are adding the new task and then improving the biggest product, and then on the May month you are delivering the full-fledged product. So that's the way of model, which is the workable model for the rapidly developing model. So next one is this, what is the difference between a Scrum and then waterfall model? So the Scrum model, which is the start from the requirement, design, development, one iteration of your process. But Scrum model, each sprint will go through the multiple iterative model. So each phases, each sprint, each week it will go for development, testing, then the requirement gathering, then each way it will go for a cyclic way of model. That's called iterative Scrum. So what are the other things we have to understand on the estimation model? So there are user stories are there are backlogs are there. These backlogs are description about the future. What is the future you want to develop on your software? That is called backlog. Okay, what it is describing about the backlog called user stories. These are some of the agile terms you have to understand. Backlog, user story. The Scrum team estimates its work for each story point, okay, each module, how much of hours it will take. One developer will say 4 hours, one developer will say 8 hours I need to work, one developer say 5 hours of work need to be developed. So the Scrum Master need to be realistically do the estimation on a finally select all the hours and then take the middle of value where you can able to get the realistic estimation time. From the low to high and then the middle you have to calculate. So there is a ranking model there, weighting model is there, several other models are there. There is a daily Scrum meeting you have to understand. So this is the first level of understanding about Scrum model. There is a backlog, there is a story point. So questions on what is a backlog, what is a story point, story, user story. Can somebody describe what is a user story, what is a backlog?
I was, yeah, thanks for the details.
Yeah, go ahead with your understanding. What is the user stories? What is the product backlog?
It's nothing but use cases from which we get the details from the actual customer, and the backlogs is the one which actually the work which is about to complete and it is still pending,
Right.
or the work which we are going to do.
Yes, exactly. So there is a product backlog. The backlog is the list of features need to be described. Those are the terms called user stories. So based on that, we'll develop the product. Okay. So next thing we have to understand, each 4 weeks or a 2 weeks model called sprint 1 or sprint 2 model, where the total effort of iteration is doing. So the people, there is a user story specified. That story is taken for 10 hours of effort. So that 10 hours will be split at each Scrum team will be available. In that Scrum team itself, there is a developer will be there is a testing team will be there is a deployment team will be there. So many people are there, right? Each people will provide their effort level based on the what is their level of understanding about the requirement. Based on that, they will tell the hours. Okay, this particular activity, similar kind of my previous experience, I had done this particular testing activity. It took me 2 hours of activity. Similar kind of development activity, I done it when my sample work. It took me 6 hours of the work. So these are the way they will tell you the estimation model. So based on that effort, that will be calculated in the Scrum estimation. So the iteration cycles of 3 weeks model or 4 weeks models, normally it's 2 to 4 weeks, they will prefer. So 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Working hours per day is 8 hours. The product backlogs of 20 stories. Each story is of 10 hours. So that means 8 hours into 5 days into 3 weeks equal to 120 hours of the people. Hours can be estimated and then can be accommodated. The product backlog or number of stories per iteration is 12 user stories. Normally, if it is for this is the ideal model, but realistically, you can able to take for only 7 to 8 user stories maximum for development of 6 member of team. Clear on this? Okay. Now only we are entering into what is a Scrum. Okay. Scrum is the larger group are spending longer time building big things rather than we are having a small team spending a short time and building a small thing but integrated regularly to the whole thing. Okay. So previously you have 100-member team, right? The 100-member team doing the end-to-end of product activities. Rather they have a product backlog, sprint backlog, daily scrum meeting, and then potential shippable product. They have requirement. The requirement has been converted into story point. That story has been understood by the people of team scrum team. The scrum team is providing the estimation to complete, and they will say that okay, I've done this part, I've done that part. That's in the reporting part. Daily scrum meeting will happen with the entire team. They will provide the status report or status of the what is happening, what is done for yesterday, what is done for today, what is going to be done for tomorrow. That will be discussed in the daily scrum meeting. So then it is the 2 weeks model, it will work, and then they will do the delivery of your product. So that's the whole story of the Scrum in a nutshell. Clear on this? This diagram is very important. Product backlog is moving to sprint backlog, and is moving to the daily Scrum meeting, and then it's going for the sprint shippable product. So next one is, there is another model, it's called Kanban model or a signboard model. So we have a visual dashboard. So there are visual dashboards are available in the Kanban model or Kanban metrics. So that model, if somebody is not able to adapt the Scrum model, the requirements are very, very rapidly changing, then they have to adapt to the Kanban model on the Agile process. Kanban is one of the model where you can able to measure and manage the rapidly just in time. Every 5 minutes once they are changing the requirements. Every 1 hour back they given one requirement, now they are giving another requirement. Similar way of happening, then you have to adapt to the Kanban model. Okay. So now we are going to see the many things. Many things means, first thing, we have to aim to eliminate the waste wherever it is possible. In Agile model, you have to be eliminate the waste. Any waste of time, waste of energy, waste of activity of progressing, any other wrong thing, cyclic work you are doing, that need to be reduced and removed. For example, somebody is doing the test activity in the normal waterfall model. So here they will adapt to the Agile automation model. They'll do all the test case in automation way. So they'll reduce the number of people, they'll reduce the number of hours, and they deliver the product accordingly. So eliminate the waste wherever it is possible. So Kanban model, which is the 5 stages of product. So it's the next, analyze, development, acceptance, and production. So here, this is the visual representation graph. What are the stories coming on the, what is the work in progress? How many new requirements are come? How many things are analyzed? How many things are development? How many things are accepted by the client? So those things will be visually represented in the dashboard. Any new requirement is come, the analyze phase will 3 increase to 4. So there is a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Likewise, we will keep on increasing the count, and development activity will be keep on based on the analysis phases. Move to the next phase. Create a table. Can you know what can do? Create a table so we can. Okay. So next things will move on to the next slide. Okay, this is a representation of your Kanban model of your Scrum. It's not a Scrum, it is an Agile methodology of a Kanban model. Okay, so this Kanban has board illustration model. In this board, in your organization, you have to keep the board like this. How many backlogs items are there? How many things are selected? How many things are in the development ongoing activity? How many things are done? And testing phase, and how many things are on the testing phase ongoing, and then it was done, and then how many things are about to complete. So these are the way the flow will be go. If any customer is changing rapidly, giving 100 requirements every day and 10 requirement every day is giving, product backlog item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, can keep on add the number of new requirements that come. Then you put that how many requirements are you can able to select, and then you can see the ongoing testing, development. Similarly, you take the next requirement, and then you can do the Kanban way of the Agile rapid development activities. So any question on this Kanban? Kanban is one of the model of Agile. Agile has so many other models. Kanban is the, if you are unable to follow the Scrum model, very rapidly changing the requirement, then we have to follow the Kanban model. Any questions on this?
No questions, man.
Okay. Move to the next one. So this is a typical Kanban representation. Analyze, development, what is the people doing, what activity. Like our project dashboards will be there, right? Similar way there is a Kanban dashboard. So there it will be defined, definition of done, the goal is clear, what is the first task need to be done, what is the story point, all these things need to be discussed on the phase wise. So now there is a daily stand-up meeting will be there on the each sprint model. Okay, it's called DSM. In the agile fashion, they'll say a DSM, daily stand-up meeting. It's called DSM. Scrum Master, SM. Scrum Master is called SM. Scrum Coach, SC. Scrum Coach, that is as a SCM. So SCM is the Scrum Master. So DSM is the daily Scrum meeting. That's your first meeting of your always people, most of the people will attend. But it's not a first meeting, it is in between your development time, it will happen. So daily stand-up meeting will be a 15 minutes of your daily time. Morning, first slot, will we start with the daily start. What is your current day, the whole day of 8 hours, what are the things you are going to do? It is also look like a micromanagement, but it is an individual owner. Voluntarily, they will come and tell you that these are the activity I'm doing, and these are the way I'm working, and this is my progress. They'll tell you. They'll tell to the entire team. Entire team will be there. They will tell the status. This is what I'm doing. This is what my progress. The time box of this meeting is 15 minutes. Okay. For time box of daily stand-up meeting should need to happen. It should not take more than 15 minutes. Even a millisecond or even a minute also should not be wasted. The time box need to be meeting of 15 minutes. The Scrum Master will prepare the meeting before the start of the process. Before starting this meeting, the Scrum Master will come forward with a detailed report of product backlog items, PBI readiness chart, PBI chart, product backlog chart, where they stand, what are the items, how many items are pending, how many activities need to be completed. Those report they will be come forward with for the meeting. In this daily stand-up meeting, in the Scrum model, you should not discuss any kind of technical stuff or any kind of issue or any kind of problem you're facing on the project or complaining in any kind of stuff on your DSM. For example, my .NET is not working, my Java is not working, or my database is not connecting, or some problem in the compilation or some of the other activities. That should not be discussed in detail. Or if you are not clear on your requirement, okay, I've done this kind of stages of requirement, not clear on to the next stage. Even the customer will say, customer also will be there in the daily stand-up call, or other technical activities also will be there in the daily stand-up call. During the status report, you should not talk about your technicality stuff or any kind of issue on. That is not the right way of doing the agile stand-up meeting. Avoid detailed solutioning or detailed complaining on DSM. Define follow-up action for finding the solution for impediments. So the impediment is one of the keyword in the agile model. Okay, I'll tell you about what is the impediment. So first of all, you have to understand, avoid detailed solutioning and detailed comparing means you can discuss. If for example, if does not, there's somebody, they're unable to understand what is clear on the requirement, they don't know what is a model or architecture, they are finding some problem on that, they can design, they can discuss. But outside of your daily stand-up meeting, you can fix your timing of meeting time with your solution architect or with your client. You have to fix your time separately on a separate discussion, not with the entire team is available. Of 6-member time should not be wasted. So that's why we have to avoid the detailed discussion on during the DSM. Third one is the make sure that TFS is updated consistently. So TFS is the team foundation server for .NET people, and some people it's a different tool. So many other tools are available. So the people will update, they have to update their activities, how much of progress they completed on a regular basis. So DSM will help the team to commit, synchronize and collaborate. Daily stand-up meeting, it will help the people to commit. Okay, they will think about their work. Okay, I have to done this activity. On the morning first session, in any kind of project team, in any kind of company, if you keep that kind of DSM, they can able to understand what they need to do for next 8 hours. If you are not discussing, if you are not having a DSM meeting, then they'll come chit chat, they'll do whatever the activity they want to perform, and they'll go for a coffee break, they'll come back, then at the end of the day, Whether they really worked or not, then it's a question mark. The DSM should have a commitment. Okay, this is the 8 hours I'm going to spend on this particular day of activity. That the person need to be think through that. That's why the DSM will help to collaborate and synchronize and commit. So next one is the daily scrum. Okay, I'll just minimize this particular slide so that I can able to see very clearly. Just give me a moment. Okay, so here in the time box way, what are things need to be? The process, I'm talking about process now. Scrum Master is the timekeeper. So here there is no project manager. There is no project leader. Scrum Master is the project manager, similar kind of project manager. They will maintain a time box. They'll maintain, okay, they'll watch the time. 15 minutes over, go back to your work. Team members think about their update before entering to the DSM. So team member need to think about what is their update. And team members need to keep it short and clear relevance of to the others. So they need to tell about what is the activity they are performing. Based on that other, okay, he is going to submit the work today. I need to start the testing. The tester will plan it accordingly. Then the meeting preparation, Scrum Master is there. 5 to 10 minutes prior to that, they should need to be available on the DSM call. Scrum Master is the owning this DSM call. Scrum Master is not necessary to set up like a Scrum Master set up the VTC, and then they have to be set up the connect to the TFS. All those things need to be they have to do. Scrum Master, they have to prepare the updates and existing improvement. They have to provide the update to the customer. Also, they have to update the team also. And Scrum Master take a note of implement whatever it has been raised, and Scrum Masters facilitate the update based on the 3 questions: what you did do yesterday, what you will do today, any blockers. If any blockers is there, they will try to provide the solution for that based on their experience level. So this is the daily Scrum model or daily stand-up meeting on the Scrum call, Scrum meeting. You can talk now. Any question, just please ask me.
Yeah, I think
Anybody has any?
Hello?
Yeah, Mohan, go
Mani,
ahead.
are you able to?
Yeah, I can able to hear.
If showstopper, okay.
Okay.
So while we're discussing in the stand-up call, so if it actually needs some technical perspective,
yes.
So is those points will be discussed or it should not?
It should not discuss. It should not discuss, even though if it is showstopper, you can just say I have a showstopper. That's it. You should not discuss detailedly on what is a showstopper, what went well, what is not went well. Those things you should not discuss on your daily stand-up meeting. You should need to be separately have a one more meeting call. You have to be 30 minutes or 1 hour of call. You have to specially design for the what kind of showstopper. You have to be get approval for that, because in a Scrum team or Scrum model, the product owner or a technical architect, they will not be dedicated person for your particular projects. They'll be work for 10 different projects for 10 different products they'll own. They'll work with the India customer, they'll work with the US customer, they'll work with the Europe customer. Each country they'll do some projects. So they have to be very clear on your activity, and then you have to upcomingly what are the meetings you have to be in one of my organization I'm working over there. So we have to be get the meeting scheduled at least 2 weeks before, then only you will get appointments. Otherwise you will not get a rejection of appointments. You cannot able to even discussion even if you have a showstopper. Okay, so that kind of level of rapid changes will rapid development will happen. So you have to be very cautious on setting up the meetings. So if you are unable to get the time, you have to be wait for their time. So DSM call, you should not discuss any other detailed discussion of your showstopper.
Okay, thanks, Mani.
Okay. So I'll move on to the next one. Okay. Okay, the next one is the team need to be update their burn down chart. So the burn down chart is one of the important concept in the agile methodology. So what is a burn down chart? We'll discuss. Okay, burn down chart is the if somebody is having a 10 items. The 10 items they have to complete. They have to tell what is the current item they are working. Okay, the burn down chart will tell you the what is the progress report. Okay, what is the progress is happening on the your project. What is the planned activity, what is the progress is happening. So in the agile model, it will keep reduce your progress. You might be estimation is 800 hours. At 800 hours, the week day one it will be reduced. If 40 hours of activity is done, then it is come for the 760 hours. Then it will be keep on burning their hours, burning their activity hours, burning their completing work towards on the end. So when it is coming to the fourth week, your hours are gone. Then you have to be okay. Is it my voice is not clear? Somebody is saying that my audio is not clear. Is there any audio problem? Can somebody tell me?
Oh, for me it is clear, Mani.
Okay, because I'm using high-end mic, Logitech mic. Okay. So fine. This is a project burn down chart, which is the Scrum Master will always monitor, or Scrum team will be always monitor. In the Scrum model, you have to be see that iteration, burn down chart. All these things are very important keywords. So burn down chart is a graphical representation of the work, what is left versus the time. Okay, what is the outstanding work? So the Scrum Master need to keep watch these particular backlog items, the burn down chart. Based on that, she need to be planned or he need to be planned. What is need to be done? What is the way the team need to work? All those things. If you go to the image part, you can able to easily understand many things. What is the work remaining based on the rate and days to complete? So here you can able to see that how much of the work is remaining to complete on the particular sprint. Okay, so this is how they will put the total effort, and then it is keep on burning the 10 hours of the iteration, hours of the work has been completed. Based on that, they will say, okay, it's a completed model. Okay, so it's actually ideal, actual, and estimated. So if it is moving on the different things, what is ideal estimation? The ideal is moving beyond that ideal line, then it is the risk. Okay, so this is a Kanban model. The stage wise, in progress wise, it will do the progress. So we'll move to the next one. Okay, second.
Mani, before
Yeah.
moving to that, can I have a key difference point between the Scrum member and the Scrum Master? Any key differences?
Yeah, I'll tell you that. So Scrum member who is the just a team member, who is just a team member. Scrum Master who is like a project manager, who is leading the team, and then who is one of the owning the team. Okay, here I have some slide for who is the Scrum Master, what they do, planning. Okay, here it is not there. Maybe I'll just give me a moment. I'll just pass the screen. I'll show that also. Yeah. Okay, it's a very good question. I want to show that this particular three roles. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Mani.
Okay. So here in your Scrum team, you have stakeholders, and then you have the product owner. In a Scrum team, you have a product owner, Scrum Master, and then whole thing is called Scrum team. What is their roles and responsibility? So here you can see that the product owner is a voice of customer. It can be a customer or they are a voice of customer. They will collect the requirement or from the product owner, or they'll own the product requirement. They are the business people. Then it's come to the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master ensure the proper work environment within a Scrum. The Scrum team will create and deliver the product based to the customer. The product owner communicate the priorities of the business requirement to the Scrum team, create the prioritization of the product backlog, and define acceptance criteria by the product owner. Now the Scrum team, they will demonstrate and increment to the product owning during the sprint review meeting. So this is the typical roles of your Scrum team. Okay, the product owner is owning the entire product requirement, and Scrum Master who will define your product strategy, roadmap, all those things. The Scrum team, they will define the development activity. Scrum Master is like an offshore development manager. They'll do the manage your entire Scrum team. They'll keep motivate the people. They'll keep ensure that Scrum deliveries are happening. They'll do the coaching activity, all those things. Clear on this?
Yes, Mani. Thanks, Mani.
Okay. So there are four different meetings are there. This is a very good slide. Luckily we got that slide. Sprint planning meeting, daily Scrum meeting, sprint review meeting, sprint retrospective. These are the four different meetings will happen on every sprint. Sprint planning meeting is the initial phase of the meeting to select the requirement, to agree that what can able to complete. It's called sprint planning meeting. Sprint daily Scrum meeting is for 15 minutes of time, but they specify as 5 minutes. It's wrong. It's a old slide. Okay, daily Scrum meeting can be stand-up, can be 5 to 15 minutes. That's the right way. And sprint review meeting is the 4 hours. And then the sprint retrospective will be 3 hours of the meeting. These 3 hours of meeting, you have to do the demo, all these things. Sprint review meeting is a 4 hours. Review of the what other things are completed. Present here only you will show the all the completed work. Sprint planning meeting will have the what are the requirements you have, how to agree, what is the commitment you are going to do for the sprint backlog. It will go for a 1 full day of time. Month first starting day of your sprint day, it's your sprint planning meeting. Then after the month first second day onwards, we will start a daily Scrum meeting. Then after the month end, we'll have a review meeting. Then is a retrospective meeting. Okay. So what went well, what is the lesson learned kind of things, they'll do the retrospective. Clear on this? Okay, we'll move to the next slide. So we are running out of time. So sprint, there is a two things you have to understand. There is a sprint planning meeting. This will go in a detail way. It's 8 hours of the meeting. So every PBI, product backlog items, PBI means product backlog item, will be detailedly discussed to the entire team. Okay, the requirement will be detailedly discussed. These product backlogs are like a story point. The stories will be detailedly discussed. They'll understand that based on the story, they'll understand the requirement. That requirement will be converted in a task. The task has been executed by the team. Once that subsequent decomposed tasks are completed, one PBI will be completed. The one PBI may be around 200 hours also, one PBI may be 50 hours also, 70 hours also. It can be depends upon the how much of the complexity of your product story. That's called sprint planning meeting. Product owner will define that this is my requirement, these are my activities need to be done for this particular sprint. They'll give the documentation, they'll provide all the things in the TFS or the whatever the tools you are using that can be put across. Based on that, it will move to the next stage. Okay, so sprint planning meeting is required, and then there are so many things are there. This is the refinement meeting. So in the refinement meeting, their team should have a baseline of what is the PBI need to start, what are they have to be discussed. Okay, in the planning meeting only they can able to discuss, right? This planning meeting will be happen in the high level. It will not happen with the Scrum team. The planning meeting will happen with the architect and then the highest people, top level management people, or the Scrum master, and then there are other team architect level, delivery team lead level. This will happen on the sprint planning meeting. After the sprint planning, there is a refinement meeting. This refinement meeting will be happen with the product owner, business analyst, designer, the whole member of team will be available on the stage 2. There is a refinement stage 1, refinement stage 2. First stage, the designer, business analyst, they will understand the real requirement. Based on that, they will take it forward to the entire team. It is splitting the PBA into smaller complexity tasks, and then the team will go through the PBA quickly and prepare for a meeting. And it is a dependency on the environment, and then there's the stage 2 goals are understand very clearly and size and resize the PPA. So first refinement is the requirement will be vague, and in the second phase of the requirement, they will understand deeply. The team will come into picture. They will ensure that all the requirements are very clear. So in the refinement stage 1, all the happy path and unhappy path will be discussed. Architecture level will be discussed. Dependency will be discussed, and then this refinement, it's 3 hours of activity. The customer will be there, the customer will discuss all the requirement, the architect will be there, business analyst will be there, product owner will be there, they will discuss with the entire requirement. Based on that level of understanding, because there also designer also will be a part of particular scrum team, right? Business analyst, designer, architect also a part of a scrum team. First level they will discuss, okay, this is possible, this is not possible for this architecture. They will remove certain PBS there itself. Then they will move to the team level. They will ask that, okay, this is possible, this is our requirement. Then again 3 hours meeting will be there. So wholly it will be 3 to 6 hours or 8 hours will be, whole refinement will be happening on the particular day of your starting day. So there is an estimation will be done on the planning poker card. That's the planning poker card technique will be there. Through that planning poker card, you can able to see the estimation, how much of the estimation. So each people will be provided like a small playing cards kind of way that has the numbers. Through that number, they have to say for this requirement, how much of hour you can able to complete the activity. So each people will show one number. Based on that, the Scrum Master need to decide which is the realistic number for to complete the activity. So these are the first level of understanding for you to Scrum stuff. There is a sprint planning meeting normally will happen on a 8 hours model, and then there is a first 4 hours PO and BA will be understand and clarify the sprint goals. Based on the sprint goals, the second part, the major team will be decompose the activity, and then it will perform by the team level of task. The sprint goal and sprint backlog is the output of the sprint planning meeting. There is the input will be product backlog, capacity, velocity, current backlog, product status, and then how to do, what to do, all these things will be in sprint planning. The output will come as a sprint goal and sprint backlog. Clear on this? So this will tell you what is the first 4 hours you have to do, what is the second 4 hours you have to do. All the things will come into next stage. There is so many levels will be there. Sorry, clear what is so far, what is the agile methodology first of all? Any questions so far? Very clear, my teaching is clear, or any questions so far?
It's clear, man.
Okay, I want to show one more stuff also. There is so many agile certifications are available. Just quickly we'll understand. Or there is a Scrum Alliance is there. Scrum Alliance is there. That is one of the global level certifications the available. Scrum.org. There are so many companies are available in the Scrum Master, Scrum level of certification. But globally, widely, there are so many certification models are available in Scrum. So Scrum Coach is there, Scrum Coach certification is there. I'll tell you the certification model. Okay, just get certified. Okay. So here there is a certified Scrum Master, CSM. Then a certified Scrum Developer, certified Scrum Professional, CSP, certified Team Coach, certified Enterprise Coach. These are not majorly attainable. CSM is a very small certification. It's a good certification you can do. Scrum Master certification, CSM, and then CSP, Scrum Certified Scrum Professional. These are the Scrum certifications you can do from the Scrum Alliance. There are so many other people they are having a certifications activity. One is the Scrum Alliance certification, and then there are a few other Scrum ORG. Scrum ORG, they are offering a certification about they have their own certification model. Professional Scrum Master, Professional Scrum Master Owner, then Professional Scrum developer, professional scaled professional Scrum team. This community, they are offering the certification. It's also widely accepted certification. There are so many communities are available on this platform, and then the PMI, they have their own agile fashion of certification model. That's the ACP certification, Agile Certified Professional. That's also similar to Scrum, but it's a little difficult exam. It's widely accepted. So rather, either you can focus on this Agile way of certification model over there from here also. So it's called PMI Agile Certification, PMI Agile Certification Practitioner, PMI ACP. This is also a good certification. It costs around $435 US dollars that you can able to afford, and there is a prerequisite is required 200 hours of the general project management experience in a team, or 200 hours you have to work experience, 1500 hours work in the Agile project team. Then only you have been authorized to write these exams. You have to get the professional PDUs training need to be completed for this. Based on the completion, only any kind of certification can be done after your training only. Without training, you cannot able to do any certification. So normally people will do the CSP, Scrum Certified Scrum Professional, or some people they will simply do CSM certification. I don't think this is the first level. Okay, CSM is the first level. CSP is the second level. CST, CSC, CTS, third level. Okay, so normally people will go in this direction: Certified Scrum Master, Certified Scrum Professional. These two level of certification model they will do. Some people they will do the Agile certification, PMI ACP. Clear on this? You have a Scrum.org. They are also offering $100 of certification. Some minimum cost will be there. Through that also you can able to take the certification. Clear? Okay, we'll move to the next topic, or we'll wind up now. Anybody interested to learn what is a PMI, project management, quick techniques of 5 minutes? We have 5 more minutes. We'll do that, or we'll stop this.
Hi, this is Sridhar. Does it be continued, or will it be just a 5 minutes, or do you have a longer session?
I can able to do. If you people are interested, I can do.
I am interested. I just want to get into the team. I don't know.
Okay, maybe we'll do today. We'll discuss next 15 minutes about the project management. Then we'll wind up. Then we'll continue in between any of the weekdays. We'll continue for one more session on this of closing this entire webinar part. Okay, because today I want to cover more into Agile fashion, Agile stuff. I think I covered a little bit of more Agile stuff of 1 hour, 1.5 hours of time, and then we'll just go into the project management technique. That's PMA way of project management technique we'll understand, because some people will be more fascinated working on the management aspect as well as the project management area. This is one of the key important stuff when you want to grow in the career aspect. Without wasting time, I'll just move to the first level of project management activities. Okay, the first thing you have to understand is called PMBOK, Project Management Body of Knowledge. Okay, the project management body of knowledge, which is the guide, or which is a book, or which is a standard across the global, where you can able to study this book across the global organization. This is the standard people are working for executing a project. First of all, you have to understand what is a project. Okay, these are around the 600 pages of book. That's fine. So these are based on this book only. You have to complete your PMP exam. PMP exam is widely accepted for a project management certification exam that you can able to undergo with a minimum of 4,500 hours of experience into the project management hours. Okay, the first thing you have to understand what is a project. So project is one of the key field which is a temporarily endeavor. This is create to unique product or service or result. Okay, it is temporary in nature. For example, whatever your activity you are performing on your organization and taking any kind of project, it is a project. It should be unique activity. For example, you are developing building a architecture of building a software, or building a building. Then it is a unique project. Each project, if you are living in a certain street, in the same street you have a different house. That's called also house only, but it is unique feature. That latitude is different. That model is different. That color is different. That pattern is different. So it's unique project. Okay. The project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique project. Temporary means it has a shortest time, not a shortest time, it has a definite start time and then end time. Okay, does not mean that it need to be close to the within a month of time or within a year of time. The project may longer to the even 100 years also. Even it is a 50 years also, building a biggest temple, biggest bridge, or biggest road map. Those things you can able to do. That's also called project only. The temporary does not mean that it is very shortest time. It can be longer for little higher time also, but it is a temporary. That even 100 years also is just temporary. Okay, so the project management has its own process. It has a different process we have on the project management. We have to have initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing phase. These are the 5 different phases of the project management process. Define the business requirement, initiation, project charter, scope document. Those things will come into the initiation phase. Then the planning phase will come into picture. Planning the activity, what are the things need to be, scope document planning, all these things will come into the planning activity. Then execution group, process group, execution, how you are going to process the execution of the project activity, monitoring and control, and closing of your project activity, how you are going to close your process. Those things will come into 5 different process group is in the project management activity. It can be anything, even the Prince 2 also it is following similar kind of way only. PMI is the widely accepted in the project management activity. Then it has the 10 different knowledge area. Okay, this particular the project activity will have the 10 different process knowledge area. I'll go to that slide. Okay, so this is very important one. Okay, so I told you there are 5 different phases are there: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing the project. Then there is a knowledge area there in the project management. In this knowledge area, you have project integration management, project scope management, time management, cost management, quality management, human resource management, project communication management, and then human resource management. Then you have risk management. Then you have the procurement management. Then the newly added in the 5th edition is called stakeholder management. Okay, these are the 10 different knowledge area, 5 different processes there. Out of these 5 different processes, you have 47 process group. Processes are there in the project management. Total 47 process, 5 process group. Then you have 10 knowledge area. This is the total project management of your PMP process, 47 process. So this process, each process will have its own ITTO, input, tools and technique, and then output. Those things will come into picture. So each project, initiation phase, how to develop a project charter, what are the requirements are required, what are the input is required, how to do the tools, what are the tools and technique you have to use, what is the output will come. So similar way it has its own process. I'll show you that process also. For example, in the integration, develop a project charter, you should have a project scope statement. What is the scope statement? Statement of work. There should be a business case, there should be agreement, this is the enterprise environment factor, organization process factor. These are your input file for your defining your developing a project charter. And then for tools and technique, there is the expert judgment techniques are there. There is a facility techniques are there. You might be in your organization, you might be have a project manager, you know, sitting, the project manager does not doing any project coding activity. What is really doing? So he will do all the project management process, even creating MPP plan, estimation, customer engagement activity, all this process you need to do on end-to-end. That is more than a developer what is doing, that the work you have to do on a project management activities. So there will be a multiple senior management reports you need to submit. You have to define so many tools and techniques you have to follow, and then those based on that only the project can able to progress. Okay, so there is a 10 different process that you have to understand. this knowledge area, and then process area. So any question on first of all these 5 different process area? Are you clear what is initiation process, planning process, execution process, monitoring and control, closing process? Anybody has any question?
No, we are clear.
Okay, so second one is the knowledge area, which is the 10 different. So it's starting with the number 4. Does not mean that it is starting with the 4 means it's a fourth one. It's a fourth chapter. It's a fourth chapter in the book. That's why they're starting with the fourth one. Okay, but it's a first group. Now integration management, scope management. Normally people will start from the scope management. Then the final phase is the integration management. Time management, how to manage the schedule the activity, define the activity, sequence the activity, estimate the activity, how much of the hours. These things the project manager need to do. They have to define the activity, they have to sequence the activity, estimate the activity. So these things will be coming to MPP project plan. So that project plan they have to estimate the cost also, how much of the cost. There are so many estimation techniques are there. Then they have to follow certain quality management processes there, and they have to follow the resource management, how much the project team they have to require. Communication management is very, very important. In the project management area, 90% of the work of project manager is communication. So that's one of the important question. Project risk management, there are hundreds of risks will come on the project that need to be identified, perform quantitative risk analysis, perform qualitative risk analysis, and then plan the risk response plan. That need to be project manager roles. Project procurement role, what are the items we have to purchase from the for executing the project? If you need a server, you need a software, you need a people, or you need any contractual stuff that you have to do in the procurement management side. The project stakeholder management is the one of the new items are added in the new groups, which is managing the entire stakeholders, customer side, project team side, how to manage, identify the stakeholder, plan the stakeholder, manage the stakeholders, and control the stakeholders, which has been defined through this process. These are the 47 processes, very important process in the PMI. This PMI, you can able to do the certification also in PMI. It's called Project Management Professional. This Project Management Professional is a globally accepted certification. Based on that, you can able to become a certified project manager professional, certified person of your, like how we are doing for Cloudera certification, how we are doing the Hadoop developer certificate. Similar way, it should be undergo a globally recognized community certificate. It's a PMI community. Through that PMI community, you are just doing the certification. This is cost around $405 of their member, and non-member it is a $555 of your application cost. That means exam cost. Okay. So in the foreign and all, they do this exam or maybe a training. It will cost you around $800 to $1,200 in the online classes. But it's in India it may comes around to 15 to 20,000 rupees of cost for your project training. So everyone need to undergo this PMP training. Then only they can able to do the 36 hours of training need to be completed for taking the exam. That need to be mandatory of training. Based on that, they can apply the certification after completion of the training. There are the next level is the PGMP, Project Management Professional. That's the next level of program management level of people. That's a PGMP. After completing PMP, you can do the PGMP. And some people, I don't want to go through the PMP kind of way, they can able to do the risk management professional, PMI RMP certification, or PMI schedule professional certification. These are the direction also. Some people will move on to that. And ACP certification we already discussed, become a Agile certification practitioner. So these are the different level of certification. Certified associate in the project management CAPM is not a it's not a good certificate. It's just a very beginner level, so student level. They can understand what is the want of project. In foreign and all, they have some coursework in the project management. The fresher level itself, or 1 year, 2 year level itself, they have a understanding the execution of the project. They have to complete this CAPM certificate for a career level. For a fresher 1 year, 2 year, 3 year level people, they'll do this certified associate in project management CAPM CAPM exam. So normally other people will do the PMP exam. So this is a first level of understanding about your process of your project, and then the knowledge area, and then 47 process over there. So for this PMP certification, people will do the refer this book called, very good book called Rita Mulkey book. That is a very good book for reading the exam, clearing the exam. It has 400 questions are available. This book will be very good book. You can able to go through this book about same process, and then based on the process you can able to understand step by step of activity or step by step of knowledge area. This book has been covered. Okay, it's called Rita Mulkey. Rita Mulkey is no longer available. She is already passed away last 2 years back. Okay, so her certification or her certification books are globally accepted by the PMI also. Her books are accepted by the many certified professionals based on that they cleared the exam. She has enriched knowledge in this particular field. Okay, so these are the other reviewer. Okay, these are the stuff. Okay, PMI certification somebody want to take, they can refer this Rita Mulkey book. They have the question model. There are so many other stuffs are available. You can go through one by one. There are so many things are available. Okay, so this is the first level of understanding I just want to share with the team so that everyone will aware of Agile. So far we are covering the big data chapter. Through big data chapter we are covering the so many other certification. Like today also we have done a machine learning certification, and then yesterday we done a Python certification. It is for 4 days of training. It keeps still continuing, and machine learning is a 4 days of training, classroom based training. And then we have a 17th of June we have a Hadoop developer certification, and then we have one more program in the Hadoop developer certification itself. There is job oriented and interview oriented, project oriented program. It's only for the already trained the people who already cannot get the job. For last 6 months back they done a training, 1 year back they done a training, still they're unable to get the job because of they don't have a realistic hands-on session. For them there is a separate dedicated trainings model we have defined. And then we have done on June 1st we have done a Tableau certification on this particular field. So every month there is this kind of certification will repeat for different scheduled dates and for a different location like a Bangalore, Mumbai, other location, US or other countries. This kind of certification will be connected and then it will be provided to the entire people to enrich the knowledge. So, okay, so these are paid trainings, and then there are so many other free webinars will be run on the weekly basis on the Big Data Chennai chapter, and then Big Data stuff it will be provided to the all the community people. So in this community there are 7,500 people are there across the global, across in India. In Chennai alone there are 3,600 people are in this community group. Okay, this is a very big, India's largest community group. So we are running this group through the meetup.com, and then you can just watch over in the meetup group on the if you just go to the meetup.com, you can find all the details. If somebody does not aware about what is the meetup.com or Big Data Chennai chapter, you can go through over here, and then you can just watch over there here under the Big Data Chennai chapter. You can find that this currently there are 3,289 Hadoop developers there. We normally will conduct the free webinar sessions on the community way. We'll conduct the group discussion and then topic discussion, all those things. And then we have a separate training divisions so that we'll provide the trainings on that. So we have a bigdatachapter.com that you can also go through that chapter.com. So there's one of the interesting website. You can just go through that. So that's India's largest big data community. So and through that community, you can do many activities to connect the many people, networking, all these things. You can do the reference, collaborative documents. You can share, group you can create. You can do the project activity. All those things you can do in this community forum. Okay, how many people are active members? What are the things they are posting that you can able to get into that, and then you can also get into the bigdatacertification.in. And there are bigdatacv.com. So this is the current job. We daily post minimum of 100 different jobs opening on this particular field or various other field. What is the things are happening over there. So I'll just tell you about that. This is one of the website we have for training and related activity. So there are classroom courses will happen on Python, Spark, Hadoop Administrator, Hadoop data science field end-to-end has been covered by the big data people. So machine learning, Python, R programming, advanced SAS. So many relevant activities, things are happening on the based on the online training. Currently, it's mostly happening on the online base as well as the classroom base. These are the training topics which has been conducted through the big data chapter. Okay, you can just go through the website. You can able to understand what are the certifications we are offering, and based on that you can enroll for if any schedules are available. Okay, then the BigDataCV.com is specially designed website, still in the progress stage, and then this is for specially designed for the people who want to get a job in the big data field or data science field. Normally we are posting currently on the current jobs. Under the current jobs, we are posting hundreds of jobs on a daily basis through our network. What are the people are having, what are the jobs they are offering. It has been published over here, and then it has been maintained by the every day basis. All the jobs openings will be maintaining over here. Somebody want to get the job, you can just quickly go through the big data CV and /current jobs. This is a URL for your reference. I'm just pasting the chart window. You can just refer to your people also. If you want to go through this, just click over here, and then this window will get open. So you will have a slideshow. So there you can just put the slideshow there, so you can get the each and every different jobs. So don't assume that we have only one slide over here. Within that requirement, we have around 97 different images. Okay, so different requirements will be available on each requirement. Okay, you can go through that. There are so many job requirements are we keep on putting over there on this particular reference side. Okay, so that's one of the things I just want to specify to everyone. This is a big data channel chapter, and we have a big data India chapter for other countries, other location also, that they can able to do it. And for any training they have to register, they can go through this gov.gl.gvvesv. It's a registration link. There are several certification programs we are offering. The Tableau certification, machine learning, Hadoop developer certification, and then Python certification, and then there is in Bangalore location Hadoop developer certification. So these are the training divisions we are offering the many different courses on this particular big data community chapter. These are the way we normally conduct in the global level of standard level of certification model. It will happen in the 5-star hotel or 4-star hotel. These are the previous batch photos which has been done through if anybody want to interested, they can able to register over here. Okay, so this is all about us, and then we are giving our webinars as well as the training model, and enriching the knowledge is our only motto goal for the data science field. Okay, with that note, we'll wind up the sessions for today, and then if anybody has any questions, you can post on our WhatsApp group. We have around 16 to 20 different WhatsApp are available on that. You can join over there. Each group will have around 256 members, and then you can, it's India's largest community. I'm just heading that particular community. Okay, thanks for the understanding. With that note, we'll wind up for today's topic. We just covered the Agile methodology and slightly on the project management. So anybody has any questions? Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for the valuable discussions actually.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Manikantan. It was very informative.
Yeah, thank you. Keep sharing the knowledge, keep enrich the knowledge.